Two sides. It's the most human of conditions. We all have the face we present to the world. The face that smiles, that works the job, that dreams about the future. And then we have the hidden one. The one that wars in silence, wrestling with demons no one else can see. For most, it's a quiet internal struggle, a negotiation between light and dark. But for Trevell Coleman, it was a collision. And that collision would echo for decades. Tonight, we're not just talking about a rapper, and we're not just talking about a murder. We're talking about a man who carried a secret for 17 long years. Trevell Coleman, known to the world as G-Dep, was a boy who came of age when the streets were loud and the music was louder. He went from hustling in the streets to signing million-dollar deals. But deep down, there was another story playing, one that started on a winter night in 1993. This is a story about good and evil, guilt and redemption. Today, we're unraveling the story of G-Dep.
All rise. We are now on the Black Docket.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Black Docket.
Yo. Yo.
I feel like every time I make that sound, I sound like Face from Nick Jr. You know Face?
Nah, not aware. I know what
Dang.
Nick Jr. is, though.
It used to be when the color was just on the screen and it would just be some eyes and a mouth and he would be talking.
Okay.
Yeah, his name was Face.
Oh, that's clever.
Listen, okay? Hey y'all, welcome back. Happy Monday.
I hope everyone survived yesterday, Charlie Kirk Memorial.
We ain't worry about Charlie Kirk Memorial.
Make
Yesterday
sure
was
my
my
people
birthday.
safe. Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, born anniversary to you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Give it up for my birthday. Brr, 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 brr. We got Kendall on the turntable over
You hear
here
it.
with the sound effects.
You hear me.
I hear you.
What up, y'all?
All right. So we got a good one for y'all today. We got Trevell Coleman, Mr. G-Dep. Do you know this story?
I don't. I had no clue about this story. I just know him for his music. Great album.
You listen to the album?
Yes. I listened to everything that came out of Bad Boy, except for like Danity Kane, the R&B albums, but I heard those were really good too.
Yeah, that's a good album.
See, I gotta go tap in.
You ready to do it?
I'm always ready to do it.
All righty. Trevell Gerald Coleman came into this world on October 19th, 1974. His mom, she was a young mom. She was just 18 when she had him. And she was a black mother trying to figure out life in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Raising her baby first in the Bronx, then in Washington Heights. Where Washington Heights at?
In Manhattan. That's above Harlem.
It's Manhattan, but it's not Harlem.
No, Harlem is in Manhattan. Manhattan is the borough. Harlem is the neighborhood. Washington Heights is the neighborhood as well.
Okay, so it's another neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah.
For a while, it was just the two of them, mama and baby. But as Trevell got older, his mama was ready to hit them streets again. So Trevell went to live with his grandmama, who became his anchor, like so many grandmamas are. Once he went to his granny, he moved from the Bronx to James Weldon Johnson houses in East Harlem.
I know about them.
And apparently that's the project.
It is.
Okay. I didn't want to say that's what my research says, but I just didn't want to be calling people houses the projects.
Nah, that's Johnson houses.
If it wasn't the projects. Okay.
It is.
And in this apartment, space was tight. Money was always stretched thin. But the apartment was where he felt the most comfortable because that was his home. No matter what it was, he was comfortable because that was home. Trevell wasn't the loudest kid in the room. He was quiet, observant, The type that sat back and watched everyone. He soaked it all in. He had a quick wit, a smart mouth when he wanted to, but mostly he was just taking mental notes. For school, he was enrolled at LaSalle
Mm-hmm.
Academy.
Yes.
You know where that's at?
I forgot where it is, but I know about it. It's Catholic school, I believe.
A Catholic school all the way on the Lower East Side. So like the Joe Catholic school and that Catholic school, like be rivals or stuff, or it don't work like that in New York.
So some are like that,
Mm-hmm.
but my school, it was elementary school in Manhattan. But
Mm-hmm.
when I went to high school, it was in the Bronx. So
Mm-hmm.
my high school was beefing with like St. Ray's. People in the Bronx would know about it, or Lehman, because we all had to meet at a certain stop, so it would be a pile. You got
Mm-hmm.
public school kids, and you got Catholic school kids, and
Mm-hmm.
there's something that's potential,
Yes.
potential for combustion.
Okay. Harlem boys getting money with the rich and uppity Catholic schools. Come on, Kendall and Trevell. That's what I'm talking
You
about.
already
Get
know.
money.
You already know.
Get that Catholic school education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Every morning he took that long ride per Google Maps. Now you tell me, maybe my direction was wrong. From Johnson to LaSalle is an hour and a half each way.
That's probably if you're driving. If you take the train, it should be like 40, 45.
Oh, see, they lied to me because Google definitely said it was an hour and a half each way.
But they assumed you had a car, and you wouldn't take that car. You wouldn't take the car to LaSalle.
Right. I don't even. It's New York. Why would y'all even assume I have a car?
Well, I'm not gonna say Google racist, but maybe Google assumed this was not.
Okay, so 45 minutes each way. That's still a long time to be on anywhere getting to school. Like that's a long one way. Y'all are committed. Cause I got about 3 times on the train for 45 minutes each way before I just can't do it. Put me in the school PS 118 up the block because I
You
can't keep doing this.
you say that, but you like entertainment. So
Do
if you put yourself back in this time period, anything could happen on the train. There's no social media, so that's social media. You would be on the train. You'd have
45
your
minutes is
music,
such a long time.
but when you got 45 minutes of entertainment,
That's true.
somebody might come on the train, start dancing, clap it up.
And I like when they do that. After high school, he gave college a try. He went to Iona College up in New Rochelle, but the pull of music was too strong. He gave them one good semester and roll bounced on up out of there. He told his mama he was leaving school to chase rap full time. And she told him straight up, you on your own. That is 100% a black mama thing to say.
Most definitely, specifically to a black son.
You on your own, figure it out. I'm going to be over here.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough, mama. And that's what he said. He said, all right, mama, and he got to work. And to pay for those studio sessions, Trevell did what a lot of young men do. He hustled and started stacking them chips, selling that white girl on the local corners, trying to scrape together whatever money he could get for the next beat, the next hour in the booth, the next rhythm and flow. And it wasn't glamorous. Like, I can just imagine the grind of really, really, really trying to be a rapper. Like, not the new I get online and say skip boobity boo 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 boo, and now I'm TikTok famous. Like actually trying to be a rapper,
It's a lot. It's a lot. The process is very. It's very.
In the time where everybody didn't have a studio in their hall closet too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the early rappers, they was working.
Yeah.
You couldn't afford to have no job because you had to work.
Nah, you didn't have a job. You had to hustle.
Yeah.
Like, you had to figure out places where the rappers were. You get in the ciphers. You had to let your name be known.
And I think that's the difference between our rappers and rappers today. Because if you had to work to your craft, if you had to work, if it was a group of people rap, I don't think there's no rapper of today that can stand in that group and hold their own. When you have to search for it, you can't write. You just got to come there and go. And I feel like
a lot of them wouldn't be able to do that.
Almost like you got one time. You got one time in this circle because if you get the step of it, bit, they gonna boot your ass up out the. Don't come back here.
They will. They might not tell you don't come back, but they gonna boot you.
Get up out the circle, brother. We don't want that around here. Some days, in all this hustling and bustling that he had going on, he barely made 99 cents to get him a piece of pizza, man. Can you imagine?
I can't.
You done hustle all day and you can't even afford a piece of pizza?
I can't. I just go and I guess work for the man, right? It's about the same thing, about the same hourly wage.
That go work for the man. But not being able to afford that 99-cent pizza did not deter him. It actually kept his dream alive. And he kept pushing. And he had talent. He was filling up notebooks with rhymes. He was rhyming with his friends in the projects. He was jumping into ciphers, proving himself verse after verse after verse after verse. He was quiet until it was his time to rap, and then people listen. People these days want to run their mouth. I'm the best rapper. I'm the best rapper out the city. And then they put you on motherfucking what's the thing with the magazine where you got to spit your rap?
A trip double XL.
They put you on double XL and you in there talking about poopity scoop, scoopity poop, and don't know what you're talking about. Harlem has a way of reminding you that no matter how big your dreams are, the streets are still right outside your door. Violence, temptation, and fast money was always there, always whispering. And by late 1993, Trevell was standing at a crossroads between his desired success and the reality of having to give it all up and live every single day. No, man, like being committed to the hustle like that, I don't know.
I mean, if you want to be the rapper, you got to do what you got to do.
True.
You got to get to the studio.
True.
Got to do what you got to do.
That's true.
You're on your own. Figure it out.
That's true. October 19th, 1993. Harlem was busy that day. The usual mix of hum of taxis, kids playing. Little baby Kendall was in Drew housing 20 minutes away, coming up off his 4th birthday. But over in Johnson, you remember that birthday?
I'm not sure if it's 4, but I do remember a birthday in Drew. Very
Mm-hmm.
clearly, too.
Mm-hmm. Over in Johnson, people were calling out to one another across the courtyard. It was really just the kind of day that felt ordinary. But this day will be remembered for a very long time. Trevell woke up that morning in his grandmother's apartment. Same view he's seen 1,000 times. Them brick buildings, the courtyard, the neighbors headed out early. He was 18, straddling two worlds. The one where he was just Trevell and the one where he wanted to become Trevell, the rapper and the star. The one whose voice was heard by people outside of Harlem. He grabbed his notebook, the one full of rhymes. He scratched out some verses. He had some ideas for a song. He read a few lines back to himself. He thought about the future. But thoughts about the future couldn't drown out the thoughts of the right now. The money, a survival, just getting through the everyday day, right?
He left the crib with his 40 cal tucked close. Not because he was looking to use it, but because the streets have rules. Carrying was about protection and power. The gun was about not being the one caught slipping on your pimping or slacking on your macking, because anything could happen. Now, on the other side of the city, there was a man just getting his day started as well, and that man's name was John Hinkle.
John was 30 years old, a husband to a wife that he chose, a home and a life those two built together, a father of three who measured their whole day by when dad would walk through the door every night. He was a responsible man, had a family that depended on him, little faces that looked for him when they got up in the morning and again when they went to bed at night. And on this night, all of them were waiting up for him and he never made it back. John was not from Harlem. He didn't even live out there. He lived out in Ridgewood, a different world from Harlem. Completely. Would you say it's a different world?
Ridgewood?
Yes.
Yes.
Ridgewood is a quieter neighborhood, tree line blocks, the kind of place where you know your neighbors by name. But on this October night, John ass was not in Queens.
John's world was Ridgewood. Rows of brick houses and corner delis. Block parties in the summer, and a kind of quiet that lets you hear your own thoughts. It was the kind of neighborhood where people sat on their stoops at dusk, and where the same faces passed you every morning on the way to the train. That's the backdrop John came from. Steady, familiar, predictable.
Nights were quiet. The kind of quiet where you could hear kids playing stickball down the street or a TV on in someone's living room. But tonight, John wasn't in Ridgewood. He was here in East Harlem. The Johnson houses towering over him, their lights blinking and buzzing above. The air was different over here, heavier, louder, full of voices calling from the courtyard. radios blaring from open windows, the rumble of the subway vibrating underneath Park Avenue. Ridgewood and Harlem might as well have been two different cities. Ridgewood was where John belonged. Harlem was not. So this leads me to ask, what brought him here? Why this block? Why this night? Why this corner? Whatever the reason, this is where John found himself out of his world and into Trevell. So, if you can't tell by how this is written, John was a watchy cracker man.
Mm-hmm.
On the completely wrong. Before we even get into what happened, John was on the wrong side of town.
Most definitely. Well, he was, but he probably was in search of something.
He had no business. No business. I don't think he was over there for Bible study nor work. John was in Harlem on this October night on good bullshit.
I'm kind of speculating on that.
The night air was damp. The city held its breath. The streetlights flickered under scaffolding. Trevell is pedaling slowly. The chain of his bike creaks slightly as he cuts through East Harlem. His heart is doing work. His mind is replaying fragments. This night, Trevell rolls up to 114th Street, slowing just enough to take the block. See, all this slowing just enough. This how I almost got hit on 125th Street. Because y'all want to be turning them corners.
You really got smoked with this delivery man.
Y'all, let me tell y'all. When we was in Harlem one time, I was going to Starbucks, right? Minding my own black-owned business. I am at the curb. I have the signal to walk. Do y'all know this man on a motorized bike almost knocked me to New Jersey? And then, let me tell you, I was by myself. Kendall wasn't with me. I'm just walking in his hood by myself. I get back to the house. I'm telling him what happened. Hand on the Bible, I swear to God, y'all. We went out again that night, and that nigga, the same person, was coming back down the street driving crazy. I said, Kendall, this the man that almost hit me. He almost hit me twice in one day, y'all.
So what's your deal? Why you keep almost getting hit by the same guy?
What's his deal? Why is he taking the corner like that?
He's doing his job.
He's not. You can't. Because when he first hit me, I was coming from the bodega.
This sound like tourist talk.
And then the second time, we was by Polash. On the sidewalk.
This sound like tourist talk.
No,
how about you keep your head on the swivel? You think it's Atlanta. It ain't sweet. It's not sweet. You got to keep your head on the swivel. You went to the store. You thought it was sweet. Delivery man almost took you out.
Definitely almost took me out. Twice in one day.
That's why you need to stay in the house.
Child. Zipping them corners. They need a bike lane. Politicians in New York, get them people a bike lane.
Like we gonna use it.
Listen, somebody need to use it. So he's coasting up 114th, right? He riding under the scaffold. See, he not even supposed to be on the bike on the sidewalk.
That's how you know he's not supposed to be there.
No, this is Trevell. He not supposed to be there.
Oh.
With that bike on the sidewalk.
Yeah, they will give you a summons for that.
Listen, he coasted. So he under the sidewalk, under the bike, just pedaling. So he makes it to Johnson and he stops. And when he stops, that's when he saw John. John is walking like he had somewhere to be. Steady, purposeful. My boy, he was speed walking. If you can imagine, like just a heavy, brisk walk.
Typical man in Harlem walk.
One of them. John had no idea what was about to happen to him. This ordinary walk through a neighborhood he had no real reason to be in put him on a collision course that would eventually end in tragedy. So Trevell studied him for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He just watched him walk. How he walking, what he doing, the rhythm of his steps, the way he was walking. And while he doing all this trying to just get there, completely unaware that somebody was watching. You talk about me keep my head on a swivel. I'm supposed to be there. He should have his head on a swivel.
He should have.
But his head was not on a swivel. Completely unaware that his night was going to be split wide open.
Trevell stops, runs down on John, and let him know, give it up. In his mind, he saw this white man in a neighborhood he had no business being in. And he could look at him until he was fooled.
He was thinking fast cash, a desperate fix, any way to break out of the spiral he was in because times was getting bad. Trevell had that 40 cal tucked in his jacket. He didn't know if he actually wanted to use it because if he did use it, that meant noise. And noise meant attention. And attention meant cops. But just having it there changed everything. It was power, it was fear. And if it came down to it and it was his last option, he was going to do what he had to do. Now, he gave a command, and John absolutely did not comply with the command at all. He being John.
There go this white privilege.
Sir, you are in a place you're not supposed to be. Somebody just said, give me your money, and you see a gun, and you finna launch at him. Are you dumb?
Yes.
Because he did, so he is absolutely dumb. If y'all listen to me, I want y'all to understand. If somebody's trying to rob y'all, please just give it to them.
Please. Your life is not worth it.
Your life is not worth it. If y'all at work and somebody in there stealing, please just let them go about their business. Do not be trying to fight these people. So, after Trevell done told him what it was, John launched at him as if his body was Teflon Don. 40 cal pointed dead to your head in your face. Give it up.
40 cal pointed to anything on you.
John thought he was different, okay? What else? What else is... I know Teflon is bulletproof. What else is bulletproof?
Kevlar.
Kevlar. He thought he was Kevlar John. John Kevlar is who he thought he was. Because guess what? He soon found out when he launched and grabbed the gun. And in that moment, Trevell panicked, John panicked, the gun panicked, and pure instincts kicked in. The gun jerked back, and Trevell fires.
Boom!
The first shot tears through the night.
Boom!
Then the second.
Badoom!
Then the third. What is a badoom?
It's my gun sound like badoom.
The sounds echo. A flash of light. John crumbles after all three of them shots hit his body. In his chest, his abdomen, and his back. Wasn't so Teflon Don then, buddy.
3 shots on the 40 is crazy.
Trevell didn't stay to watch what happened. He swung his leg over their bike and was pedaling like he was never pedaling before. Okay? Got his workout in that night. Them tires rattling over the broken pavement. Heart pounding so loud he could barely hear it. Blowed out his mind. In seconds, he was gone. He got up out of there and he threw that gun in the East River with the hopes that this would be the end of it. When them shots rang off, neighbors ducked. People shut their window. They don't want no parts of whatever is going on out there. Somebody yelled. Somebody else called 911. By the time the police rolled up, John was down, laying on the cold Harlem sidewalk, dead. His wallet was still in his pocket, only a $5 bill and a single $1 bill inside, with a billy club laying nearby. Detectives did what they were trained. Heavy air quotes on train because, but they did what they was trained to do.
Heavy air quotes.
They secured the scene. They strung up crime scene tape. They marked shell casings with little yellow number thingamajiggies. And allegedly, they knocked on doors. Allegedly, they asked questions to the ones who answered, who said they saw something. But Harlem is not a place where people are lining up to talk to the police. That year alone, New York City had already logged over 1,900 homicides. That is crazy.
Welcome to New York, bro.
That's crazy. And they still had 2 more whole months left in the year. They were recording nearly 6 homicides a day, and Harlem carried more than its share of that number.
Yes, it did. That's how I ended up getting arrested, because the area was so hot, they just was running people down.
Even 20 years after the fact. This is 1993.
The area was so hot, they was running people down. Harlem's always been known for gun activity.
Harlem has always been known as black people, so they want to be over there over policing.
Oh, that's default. Yeah, that's most default. Most definitely default.
Cases were stacking up faster than detectives could clear them. Witnesses stayed quiet, either out of fear or simply because they didn't trust the system to protect them. which is valid. When no one gave a name, no one pointed a finger, this case became another file number in a city drowning in violent crime. Shout out to Johnson. Like, I'm not saying they shouldn't have told, but shout out to Johnson for holding it down. Because I know for sure somebody saw him. And they knew exactly who he was.
Of course.
Shout out to Johnson. Make the police do their job. And why I say shout out to Johnson.
Because they ain't say a word, follow protocol.
The report was written, the evidence was bagged and tagged and logged, the case marked open, but it was very much inactive. They didn't have nothing, and no matter who John was and how he died in a part of town that got the short end of the stick always. And just like that, John's murder joined hundreds of others on a growing list of unsolved cases. Another life lost, another file shelved, waiting for someone to come forward. And the years kept rolling on by. 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Welcome to the new millennium. Just back to 2001, 2002, just rolling. And as the years kept rolling by, Harlem changed, the city changed, and Trevell changed. By the late 1990 and the early 2000s, he wasn't just Trevell from Johnson Project no more. He was G-Dep. He landed a deal with Bad Boy Records, the kind of deal that kids on the block used to dream about. Now, Diddy was putting people on the most fucked up deals I've ever seen. G-Dep's contract was insane in the membrane. I don't know what type of time Diddy and his baby oil was on, because what do you mean 5 albums, 500,000? 5 albums is like a lifetime of albums to give somebody as an artist.
It is.
And you finna give me 500,000? Diddy was playing. Diddy used to be playing.
I'ma just hold it down right now.
Suddenly, G-Dep was in rooms that he had only ever seen on TV. He was in studio sessions with Puff, trading verses with Mace, laughing and hee-hee-heeing with Black Rob. He was surrounded by gold plaques, late night studio runs, popping champagne bottles, tour buses, magazine covers, unlimited amount of groupies. Okay, whatever he wanted was at his disposal. Bad Boy was on a full run at this time. I remember it was a time Bad Boy had on like 106 in Park. They might have had 7, 8 other slots.
Know.
Diddy was raking in though,
and giving you hits.
It was for sure giving you hits. He is a nasty, freaky man. Talented.
Everything out of Bad Boy.
Everything.
G-Dep album, Black Rob album, Little Caesar album. Like, everybody's album was good.
Yeah. His face was on BET, on 106 in Park, on Rap City. And I know for a fact that video stayed on the countdown. That
Special Delivery?
The one where the little light-skinned boy was doing the Harlem Shake.
Probably Let's Get It.
Yes. 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 That was the video. That was actually the video that introduced the Harlem Shake to the world. That's the video that made me want to be from Harlem. Man, what? When Buddy had that shirt and he went the and it went the opposite way.
Yeah, that's the move. That was the move.
He was going crazy.
In the move, you would take your shirt, go left to right, then put it over your head. Woo! Go crazy. Want to hit a little tap if they want? Yes. Yes.
He said, I'm a Rottweiler, and I'm from the Rottweiler house to Rottweiler yours.
Really, get smacked silly. You get smacked silly. Fucking with these niggas from the. What you doing? When you're ready. Shit, I was born ready. And I was already on fish and spaghetti. Creep with the culture. Rap like a culture. Attack like a vulture. See you in the culture. Said I get you. Where did it fit you? Got 13 inches. I see the big picture. If it's to get richer, I probably get richer. If not, burn it. Be hot like a furnace.
Man, listen.
Fire.
That was my song. They were playing this video back to back. If you turned on BET, if you turned on MTV, there he was rocking that shiny ass black suit in the middle of Harlem, Bad Boy logo spinning on the screen. I still vividly remember that video.
When we saw that video, we was going to school Harlem shaking and just battling. Like, you can't Harlem shake better than me. Like, so what's up?
You know, I ain't even got no rhythm, boy. I used to bend. Let me tell you, man. I used to be trying to shake them shoulders. I can't shake them no more. The club, and I think it was such a pivotal song because it was everywhere. The clubs were spinning it. The iPod kids was walking around listening to it.
We were.
The people who still was having boombox with tapes was listening to it.
Mhm.
People were spinning it in their car. It was one of them songs where it was everywhere, and it was a generational song. Like all the people can listen to it together and have fun to it. That's why I think it was so big.
Mhm.
But also, I think that song alone, just that one song, should have made him $500,000 while he
I
on
agree.
a 5-album, $500,000 contract.
I agree.
Did he need his ass whooped for that? I
'Cause
mean,
that
he might
song
like
was
that,
that-
but
Come on.
sorry. Pause.
Come on, man.
Pause. Come on, that song was a $500,000 song.
It was. I can agree to that. Or at least 4.
375 or some. The clubs was spinning him heavy. Let's Get It wasn't just a song, it was an anthem. The kind of song that when you heard it, you know you was about to be a sweaty mofo because you was finna Harlem shake your titty out your bra, boy. Like going crazy. Cars was rolling down the street, bass rattling the trunk. Rattling the trunk. That sound that you like, rattling the trunk. Yes.
Mhm.
You was for sure hearing them before you see them. Some of block parties had kids shouting the hook like it was a sing-along. When the DJ drops special delivery in the mix, move out the way because the whole crowd is finna go. You got 10 seconds to get up off the dance floor because they about to go crazy. If you're not a dancer, please move.
And all you gotta hear is that hey, hey.
Yeah. For a while, the whole city was chanting his name. Like, did y'all feel like that? Like you knew G-Dep during this period. Not like by name, but you knew the song and the face.
Yes.
Okay. As G-Dep was now front and center, he was living a dream. Every Harlem kid was talking about on the corner. And if not talking about him by name, standing on the corner doing the Harlem Shake to his song, I think also is representative of the art and the artistry that went behind it.
This is correct.
But when the camera shut off and the crowds went home, he was still Trevell, the kid from Johnson carrying a secret about 3 bullets he fired many, 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 many years ago. Kendall, can you imagine that duality? Performing in front of thousands of people, smiling for pictures, shaking hands, kissing babies, while every single night, 365 times, at least 10.
Can I imagine that? Well, according to P Valley, Lil Murda did that. And his song started going up.
His songs did start going up.
I'm just saying.
On the nights when Trevell went back home, it was just him and his memory of what he had did all them years ago. That money that looked, for the time, it looked so big on paper. Because 1999, $500,000 was a lot of money. I still feel like it wasn't enough for them 2 songs, but that was a lot of money for back then. But what that money didn't do was stretch as far as he thought it was. There was way too many lawyers to pay, way too many managers that he had, and everybody got to get a cut. Ain't nobody lawyering, ain't nobody managing off the strength of nothing. I need to be paid. And and once you reach that level, studio sessions aren't cheap. Like, you no longer going to Ray studio with just a mixer. Like, you need professional type of studio session. And going to the studio, for every dollar he spent on the lawyer, on the manager, on a studio session, it was also another dollar that went up his nose or in his veins. That made the pile dwindle even faster. Cocaine, wet sticks, which apparently is weed laced with PCP.
Yeah, them wet.
Shout out to Google because I had no idea what a wet stick was. I thought that's when you take the nicotine out of a cigarette and put weed in there. That's what I thought a wet stick was until I went to Google.
No, that would just be cigar weed, like what Chris Tucker said in Rush Hour.
Google probably thinks that I am a crackhead now because I needed to see what it looked like. I need to see it.
I would take the head off a crackhead and put ER.
A crackheader?
They think you would.
Oh, a nigger.
Nigga, what? You're a cracker.
Oh.
You see what I deal with? Do you see what I deal with? Do you see? Simple instructions. Very simple. I said take the head out of crack and put a ER. She gave us a whole new word that wasn't even in the conversation.
Oh.
Truth is, I'm tired.
Ooh.
Options are few.
Okay. But yeah, I had to Google it. I had to Google it. And right along with the wet sticks and the PCP, he was also on the big H. He was also out there doing that black tar heroin.
For the H dog?
Man, what?
Mm.
This habit was eating through that bank account and his body. And you know, once you went, I don't know, man. I don't know nobody that done did no PCP and no heroin, so I don't know how that make you act. But his studio sessions started to blur into all night highs. They started disappearing into the haze. Money that was supposed to go to bills and to his kids got burned and went up in smoke as he chased the next hit. And the higher he got, the louder that night on 114th became. It didn't have a beat or a bass line. It was just the sound of them 3 shots echoing in his head. Then came the arrest. Not for what one may think it was for. He started getting locked up on petty charges. First, he started going down for possession. Then he started going down for parole violations for being in possession of more possessions when he got caught for possession. Each trip downtown left another mugshot in the city. And every time a new mugshot dropped, he looked more and more tired, a little more hollow. Them drugs was kicking his ass. Those shiny suits from the videos were replaced with Riker Island jumpsuits. Once those mugshots started piling up, the headlines flipped. It seemed as if it happened overnight. One day, it was album reviews, glossy magazine spreads, and the next, it was little tiny blurbs about court dates and drug charges buried in the back pages. And this is when those newspapers of your mugshot start being at the gas station. And you just buy them for $1 and see everybody who got locked up. Y'all had those in New York?
Nah.
Oh yeah, we used to have those. Like anybody that went to Fulton County or anywhere, they would print them once a week, and everybody mugshot would be in there, and it would say what you did.
Why we gotta be so embarrassing to each other? Why you want to embarrass that man and that woman? Not her picture out there in the hood.
It used to be so funny though. Baby, you talking about like, and it used to be right where the mixed CDs used to be. So I would get me a little 3 for $5, 5 for $20.
We got 3 for $5. Wow.
We had 3 for $5 and 5 for $20.
We had 2 for $5.
And then you would get the little Who Went to Jail magazine for about $1. Have you a time? His name wasn't buzzing because of new music anymore. It was buzzing because he'd been booked again. The calls from the labels got shorter. They stopped looking and expecting him at the studio. Then they stopped calling altogether. Reporters stopped asking about his next single. The show slowed down. First, from every weekend to once in a while, until the bookings just stopped altogether. Because they said he was coming to the shows high as hell.
I believe it.
Now, you only got 2 songs. That's a maximum 10 minutes that I need you to give me what I need you to give me.
True.
Couldn't do it.
Them drugs.
Them drugs, man. The hype machine that once had his face on TV every hour, that once made the whole city chant his name, was now very quiet. And when the lights finally went out, when the music finally stopped, there was no noise left to drown out the truth. And all that was left was a broken Trevell, strung out, standing still while the rest of the world kept moving past him. He said he was feeling like he needed to restore balance during this time, like the universe was off kilter and it wouldn't let him breathe until he came clean. So one day, he finally did it. He walked into the precinct alone. No crew, no camera, no lawyer. Just him. The place smelled of burnt coffee and disinfectant. Phones ringing everywhere. In the back. Radios popping off with some dispatch calls. You know, the typical precinct behavior. The cops barely looked at him when he went in there. And in all of this backdrop, he goes in there to the desk and tell them why he's there. He said, I want to confess to a shooting from way back in the year 1993. Verbatim. That's what he told them. That got everybody's attention in the office. They set him down. They pulled out a pad. They started taking notes. He told them the corner he was on. He told them the detail by detail. He told them exactly how he did it. He told them about the bike, about the man under the scaffold, how he grabbed the gun, the 3 shots, how he rolled off into the night. He laid it all out for them because he'd been carrying this moment in his chest for nearly 2 decades, and he probably just needed to say it to somebody. Right? Right. When he was done, they left him sitting there. Seconds, minutes, hours go by. Then the detectives came back, and they came back with no cuffs, no thank you for telling us, no arrest. They just shrugged. The case file they had didn't match anything that he was saying. They thought he was lying. They thought he came in there saying he did that looking for attention. But whatever the reason was, they let him go home.
I would have took that as a sign from God. Like, yo, I did my part, and listen, thank you.
You talking about it's off kilter. I kiltered this bitch, and y'all don't want to believe me? You ain't got to worry about me. The weight he had been carrying for almost 2 decades is still right there. Only heavier now. Because saying it out loud didn't free him. It just made it more real. Now, I don't know how I would be acting because I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never blickied nobody down. But if they told me to kick rocks, I'm with you. Thank you, God.
I'm kicking them.
Thank you, God. I see you, big homie. But again, we saying this as a person that ain't never caught nobody.
This is true.
So I don't know if he felt like he needed to be punished for what he did. But for me, if it was me, this would have had to go to the grave for me, baby. I ain't telling nobody nothing else.
Taking my ass home. I'ma pray, and I'm get me something to eat.
Period. He walks out of that precinct and back into the daylight, back into Harlem, back into himself. But this time, knowing that that one confession wasn't enough. For a while, Trevell tried to live with it. He tried to convince himself that saying it once was enough, but the weight didn't lift. If anything, it doubled down and pressed on him harder. So by 2010, man, listen.
2010, I was down to win.
Man. And if y'all wanted to catch me from this, catch me by the hair on my chinny chin chin, because I would not go in that precinct no more. But by now, he was living back in 2 worlds. Neither one of them was letting him breathe. On one side, he had become a family man, a husband. He got married to a lady named Crystal in 2004 and had become the father to twin boys and a daughter. To the neighborhood, he looked like everybody else's dad. He was doing school drop-offs, ran into the corner store. It seemed that he left the spotlight behind and settled into a quiet, regular life. He still was doing them drugs, though. But behind closed doors, it was a different story. The memory of that night he smoked John was like a ghost in the house, and it sat at the table for dinner. It lingered in the quiet hours when his kids went to bed. He laughed with them, kissed their foreheads, then go sit by himself and think about how he popped them 3 shots and ran off. He slowly began to curb his own happiness because he felt he shouldn't be allowed to be fully joyful when he hadn't made things right. On the other side of being a family man, he was living in a constant state of unraveling. The music industry had all but thrown him in the trash can at this point. The shows he used to book was now a thing of the past. He couldn't even book a free show in the park. So this all we got. And when I say free shows in the park, you know, the ones the aunties go to when they got their coolers and their lawn chairs. And I want to be that type of auntie. Give me the, what they call it? Or they call it Wine Down Wednesdays in Atlanta. Send me to the Wine Down Wednesday with my little cooler with a little pasta salad and a little sandwich. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. The checks came slower, but that habit was intensifying. Cocaine, wet sticks, and that heroin was still a daily habit. So he traded in going to jail every other business week to checking in and out of rehab every business week. And rehab came and went, but the guilt was unmoved. It was like living in a hall of mirrors. On one side, it was G-Dep. On the other, it was Trevell. Both staring at him, both looking at the same ghost. And in his last stint in rehab, whatever facility they went to, that's when it popped off because it stripped away all the noise and he had no more excuses. Just Trevell, alone with his thoughts in that silence, that fateful night continuing to roar in the back of his head. And when he walked out, he knew what he had to do. He had absolutely made up in his mind that he wanted to make this right. So he went back to the same precinct where they had heard his story and told him to go home. This time, he wasn't holding anything back. No pussyfooting around what happened. No testing the waters. He came that day to lay it all out and make them believe what he had to say. He told them everything again, but slower this time. Clear, more concise. He told them about the corner, about the bike, about John's face, how they both grabbed for the barrel, how he let off them 3 shots, and then the words that changed everything. If that man died, that's what I did. Because in this exact moment, he did not know if John died or not. He was now looking at a murder charge instead of just a robbery, aggravated assault. Like, this is a whole nother ballpark entirely. So I don't know if he knew that he was finna go down for him, if he would have been going back and forth telling them people.
And that's why I would have took that first visit as a blessing from God. That was mercy.
Thank you, Jesus. This time, they did not send him home. This day, the police decided to come into work and do what they was paid to do.
Well, look at that.
Because here is somebody else doing their job for them. I mean, why would you not get this free bonus check for not doing no work, right? Detectives they was able to match the story this time. So I also think the first time he went in there, they didn't give a damn. They did not even look at the case file. That's my summation.
I can concur.
Cause how he tell y'all the same story this time, and y'all can just automatically not let him go this time?
Cause he dropped that other word.
This time, the detectives matched his story to the unsolved case file from 1993, that of John Hinkle, that 32-year-old husband, father of 3, from Ridgewood, killed by 3 unknown bullets. He's telling them a story from the same corner, that same night, at the same time. He walked in and did not walk back out that night because right there in that precinct, Trevell Coleman, rap name G-Dep, was arrested for a murder that had gone unsolved for 17 years. That 17 would have been 47 because I wouldn't have told back on myself.
Man, listen.
I am sorry for what I have done. I would have got clean. I would have been repentant. I would have went to the church house, but I would not have been keep telling on myself. And once he did that, the news broke fast. The word got around faster. The same outlets that had once ran his music videos now ran the headline, rapper G-Dep confesses to 1993 murder. For the Hinkle family, they finally had a name and a person who took John's life. No thanks to the NYPD, because what did they do? Nothing. John's brother said he was furious that the case had taken this long. He was also angry that someone could just walk in after all those years and confess like it was nothing. For them, they felt like it was no relief, no forgiveness, just 17 years of pain brought back to the surface.
You know, that is tough, man, because if it was me and I had to deal with something for, 400 years, like I'd be going through it. So I feel his pain.
Fair. That's a fair way to feel. I agree. And for Trevell, there was no turning back. The second confession wasn't just words. This time it was some handcuffs. It was a cold cell. It was the moment where the ghost he'd been living with finally stepped into the light. From that moment they cuffed him, the countdown started. This wasn't a ghost story anymore. It was a murder case. Evidence boxes that had been collecting dust for almost 2 decades was pulled off them shelves. Prosecutors started building. Detectives started knocking on doors again. Now, do y'all think them same people still live in Johnson after 17 years? Y'all should have been knocking on them doors 17 years ago when John got popped.
They may still live there, but do you think they're gonna remember? Yeah, but they're not gonna talk.
Hello?
I would hope they wouldn't.
Shout out to Johnson. And Trevell, he sat in the cell, waiting to see if the confession that was supposed to set him free was about to cost him the rest of his life. Once Trevell laid it out the second time, the city moved quick. The case was alive again, and this time it was coming for him. The DA wasted no time. 17 years after John was gunned down on that Harlem corner, Trevell Coleman was charged with second-degree murder. And just like that, a case that had been collecting dust was suddenly front page news again. Every outlet ran the headline: rapper G-Dep confesses to 1993 killing. Some even put his mug shot side by side with a shot from Special Delivery. You see how they want to be playing? You see how they want to play?
That's messed up.
And that's the video with the shiny suits. They got him in the shiny suit and then in his regular prison guard.
Crazy.
He was Harlem shaking in them county oranges.
Mm.
The contrast was jarring, almost like two different men. Because also, by the time he got this prison photo, he was also a full active addict. So y'all took a healthy picture of him to now when he is an addict in jail for murder.
Shock value.
Come on, man. It was two different men, but they were both him. For John's family, it was complicated to see his face, to then see John's face splattered all across the newspaper 17 years after it happened. They knew this wouldn't bring John back. It just reminded them just how much time had been stolen. And then, after all this, came the trial. And we are now on the Black Docket. The court was packed with wood benches, the seal of New York State hanging over the judge's head. Reporters packed into the gallery. On one side, the prosecution. The other, Trevell, clean shaven, wearing a suit, sitting quietly at the defense table. The prosecution didn't hold back. They built their case brick by brick. And by brick, I mean the confession that he walked in that station and gave them 7 years after he shot that man down.
First, they brought in the detectives who took Trevell's confession. Each one walked the jury through exactly what he told them. How he came in on his own, no lawyer, no deal on the table, no one forcing him. And he laid it all out. The corner, the 40 cal, the 3 shots, the bike he rode off on. Every detail lining up with a case file that had been gathering dust for 17 whole calendar years.
They put the evidence on full display. The photos of the crime scene, the dark Harlem sidewalk lit up by police floodlights, yellow evidence marker dotting the ground, the shell casings right where they fell. They showed the coroner's report too. 3 bullet wounds, one to the chest, one to the abdomen, and one in the back. Each one a reminder that John didn't just collapse, he fought for his life before he went down. The jury sat still, flipping through black and white photos, staring at the grainy images of the block where John had took his last steps. Reporters scribbled notes. John's family sat in the gallery watching and listening. Their faces giving nothing away, but the pain was right there in the room. By the time the prosecution was done, they had pulled 1993 right into that courtroom, photo by photo, wound by wound, until there was no denying what happened on that street. The DA painted a picture of an attempted robbery gone bad, a man with a gun trying to take quick cash, firing 3 times when his victim fought back. They reminded the jury that John left behind 3 children, a wife, a family that never saw justice until now. They had to pull on those heartstrings. You hear me? The defense couldn't deny the shooting. How could they? But they argued that Trevell didn't even know John had died, that his confession wasn't coerced, wasn't the result of pressure. He walked in there on his own. They pushed for a lesser charge, saying that this wasn't some cold-blooded, premeditated murder. It was a scared teenager panicking in the moment.
And they didn't stop there. They turned the focus back on John, telling the jury that toxicology showed PCP in his system the night he died. They wanted the jury to see that the picture of John as this quiet family man, upstanding citizen, wasn't the whole story. That this might have been a drug charge confrontation, a moment that got out of control on both sides. Their point wasn't to erase Trevell's guilt, but to put it in context, to argue that what happened that night was messy, chaotic, and not worthy of a life ending sentence.
Through it all, Trevell sat there calm, listening. He ain't have no outbursts. He wasn't in there with the theatrics, just sitting, hands folded like someone who knew this day was coming long before they ever picked the jury. And when it came time for the verdict, the jury did not take long at all. And when they read out the verdict, they read
Guilty.
to murder in the second degree. When the words were read, he didn't flinch. There was no tears. He wasn't shaking his head. He just nodded like a man that acknowledged the final steps in a journey he started the day he walked into that precinct the first time. Then came the sentencing. The judge handed down 15 years to life. 15 years minimum before he could even think about parole. And Trevell took it the same way he took the verdict. Quiet, still, unbothered. For John's family, it was the closest thing to closure that they were ever going to get. Robert, being John's brother, told reporters he wasn't sure how to feel. There was finally justice, but it had taken almost 20 years to get there.
See, let me tell you something about them. Never satisfied.
Never be satisfied.
Never satisfied, man.
They can never be satisfied. They can never be satisfied. Oh, you don't know him.
We got justice, but it was delayed justice.
Man, listen.
The nerve.
The nerve. When the sentence was handed down, 15 years to life, Trevell was sentenced to Fishkill Correctional Facility in upstate New York. I do not like that name.
Yeah. I know about that spot.
You went to Fishkill?
Nigga, I've never been to prison.
Sorry.
I just know about it.
No, not you personally. Like, did you go visit somebody
I've never
there?
visit prison.
Oh, really?
Like, I've never been to a prison, period.
Yeah.
I don't.
I've
That's
been
not
to
my
the
thing.
feds.
That ain't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come and see you the day after you come out.
Yeah. Let me tell you, they used to take us up there on the weekend to go see Big Darryl. Like it was a family event.
Mayor Darryl.
Child, boo. In the penitentiary. But it was easy because he was at the one that's right off of...
If I ever meet him, that's how I'm going to greet him. How you doing, Mayor?
As you should. But it's the one that's in the city. The one that's by Four Seasons.
Okay.
So it wasn't far. Nobody had to go far to go there. Like, we wasn't going out of state. We was literally going down the road.
Oh, that's convenient.
He didn't beg the judge for mercy. He didn't have no tears. He just stood it and took it like a man who had already knew how his story was going to end. And in a way, it was the first time he could finally breathe. Holding your breath from 1993 to 2000 and something is a long time to be holding your breath.
It is.
And that's the duality right there, isn't it? On the outside, he just been handed a punishment that could keep him in prison until he was a old ass man. But on the inside, he said he felt freer than he had ever been. Prison life was a long way from the videos and the clubs and the groupies and the studio sessions. Fishkill isn't Rikers level chaos, but it's still prison.
It is.
And y'all know we've covered Rikers on here a couple times. It's no place where anybody should be. Defund Rikers.
No, they need to just close it.
That too.
Just close it.
That too.
They've been saying that for years, though.
Fishkill is concrete floors, cinder block walls, head counts that break up the day, wake ups before sunrise, lights out too early, and the same routine on repeat until you lose track of the days. For Trevell, that's where life slowed all the way down. It was just him, a cell, and the time he was doing. He stayed quiet. He kept his head down. He wrote when he could, reflected when he couldn't escape it. This was the life he chose when he walked into that precinct and decided to tell on himself again. So I feel like he put himself there. So I feel like it's much easier for him to do this time because he know I'm here because of me.
Correct. I definitely agree with that.
His family life got complicated fast. Crystal, the woman he married back in 2004, couldn't wait 15 to life. The marriage didn't make it. But they have kids, and even from behind bars, he still showed up for his kids. Phone calls, letters, whatever the prison would allow. He couldn't be there for birthdays or school events, but he was still being a father from a cell. And I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
In the hip hop community, the reaction was mixed. Some praised him for owning up for what he did, for doing something almost no one does. Walking into a precinct and confessing to a murder with no deal on the table. If before I researched this and somebody told me that somebody did that, I think I would struggle to believe it.
I wouldn't struggle to believe it, but I would question the sanity of the individual.
That too. And if I knew I had something, I would have made my own deal. I would have went in there and made my own. How bad y'all want this case off?
I would have made a deal with God,
Yes.
and it wouldn't have been at the precinct.
To never go back in there.
Because I would have went to the precinct. I would have did that on the bed.
Amen. And on the other side of that, others question why he said anything at all. Why throw your life away when no one is looking for you? That's the tension of this story. Some people saw it as justice, others saw it as a tragedy. Trevell was supposed to be first eligible for parole in 2027. But it didn't work out like that. In April of 2024, after serving more than a decade, he walked out of Fishkill Correctional Facility a free man. New York's governor granted him clemency. The prosecution didn't fight it. And with time served and good behavior credits, he was out. I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that. Because 15 to life, okay, cool. But had he not told us, we would have never been able to solve this. Nobody would have had no closure. And he not violent. He in here just chilling for real.
That's true.
Now, while I don't like even NYPD, I don't have no beef with y'all prosecutors. But this was a good deal.
It's really not NYPD. It's the training. Like, it's the system of NYPD that's the problem. Because I had to learn that. The people are cool. But you get conditioned into the system. It's like military.
That's true. 49 years old, standing outside those prison gates, breathing air that wasn't regulated by head counts and locked doors for the first time in 14 years. The man who once walked into a precinct to confess was now walking back into the world. And that leaves us here with the story that has a neat ending. On one side, a man who says he finally felt free the moment they put him in cuffs. And on the other, a family that will never get back their father, brother, or husband. Good and bad, justice and tragedy. Two men whose lives crashed together on a Harlem corner, fueled by PCP and everything that comes after. The question we leave you with is the same one we opened with. Was the confession redemption or just a final chapter in a story where everybody lost something?
Good and evil. We talk about them like they're black and white. As if one day you wake up a saint and the next you wake up a sinner. But life is never that simple. Trevell Coleman wasn't just an entertainer. He was a son, a husband, a father. A man who had tasted fame and fought demons most of us will never see. For 17 years, he walked around with that night in Harlem sitting heavy on his chest. And then one day, he decided to stop running. Was that a moment of strength or a moment of surrender? Was it about justice for a man whose case had gone cold, or was it about setting himself free? Maybe it was both. And maybe that's the real story, that good and evil aren't separate at all. They live together, side by side, in every one of us. What matters is which one we choose to listen to.
And another thing, I feel like ever since I've been born, there have been so many unprecedented times. From 9/11 to COVID to now this man being a president and now a felon. These times need to start being precedented state. And I'm not playing. I'm putting my foot down. Start precedenting the times. I cannot keep up. I cannot keep living like this. Every single time I turn around, I'm the first to experience something. I don't want to be the first anymore. I want to be like the second or third. Like back in the day, all they had was like the bubonic plague. Okay, get over it. Every single time I go to sleep, I wake up unprecedented times. This needs to end. I literally cannot handle another unprecedented time. Get some precedent around this hoe or else.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to unprecedented times. Bah, 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 bah. This has been a week. This has been a doozy. So I'm starting out hot on the presses. You ready for tomorrow, Kendall?
What's tomorrow?
The rapture is coming.
Oh man.
Are y'all ready for the rapture? I'm gonna make sure I get this out tonight so y'all can listen tonight in case we all well, we ain't gonna make it because they said that where they going, we can't go. And all the people that's making jokes, they said we not invited.
Well, you know, fortunately for them, I wasn't interested.
Precisely.
I actually wasn't interested. I actually had decided I was going to stay here while they go wherever they went.
All I'm saying is, if I did all my work today, so I can sit online all day tomorrow, so I can see the reaction of when they don't levitate and go to heaven.
Do you remember when they said the world was going to end in 2012? What were you doing? Was it 2012? It was one of them years.
No bullshit. We've lived through, currently at our age, we lived through 18 times that they said the world was going to end.
I only remember.
I remember 2012.
Yes, I remember that.
I remember 2000.
I remember that. There was only two.
I remember 2010. Because the Mayans was in 2012, right?
Oh yeah, I remember 2010. That's what it was.
Yeah, I remember the both of them.
I was in Lincoln. I was on in the projects eating Chinese food. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't the world supposed to be ending? And it didn't happen.
And yet here we are.
We went to Sin City after that.
We are still here, alive and praying. So apparently, if y'all guys didn't know, it started in South Africa. We actually got to where the first video came to where they said the rapture was coming. It's a South African preacher that said the rapture was coming. So then this lady in South Africa emailed her company, her American company. She worked for like I think they do audits and stuff for American companies. She sent a company-wide email to the entire however many people work there, talking about she quit her job for the rapture and they need to get ready. And she sent all the pamphlet information. Do you know how them fishing emails they be telling y'all don't fucking open when y'all gotta do them trainings?
Well, don't open the email and you're gonna miss. You're not gonna be able to get up out of here when the rapture comes.
The rapture, thank you. This was 5 minutes ago. Officer Tormy Norman said he announces to retire from the North Little Rock Police Department.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. I don't advocate for crackers. But Officer Norman was cool.
Officer Norman was cool.
He was cool, man. I'm not going to judge him because that was in his household. And I'm not going to put my nose in nobody's business in their house. But then again, he was beating her down for years, so I also don't advocate for that. Especially no cracker beating down no black woman.
Did you ever watch Tiger King? You told me you never watched it.
Nah, I didn't get into that.
Okay. So after watching Tiger King, I really don't like big cat sanctuaries. I don't like them having them in the zoo. I don't like that. Send them back to where they're supposed to be. So today in Oklahoma, a tiger handler was doing a show with a tiger in front of people, mauled his ass and killed his ass.
Hey, man.
Handprints on the glass from where he done got ate up. Rest in peace to that man. Send them animals back to where they supposed to be at. Free all the captive big cats and definitely put them orcas and everybody that came from Shamu back into the ocean. Immediately. Did you know all the captive dolphins are from the offspring of Shamu? They used his DNA to impregnate all of them.
I know.
No, I didn't know people know, but
yeah, we watched the documentary.
I think like this is, I'm not trying to be funny. Whoever owned the first Shamu, if you own the rights to that, I think that they should really just put all of them back into so they can be with Shamu real family. Because why is y'all keeping them in captivity?
I mean, I think the best option is to return to Cinder.
Yes.
It should have been left there in the first place.
Yes.
But,
Yes. And then they was trying to say if you put them back in the ocean, they wouldn't know how to matriculate back. New law going into effect on Connecticut on October the 1st, where it is now illegal. I want y'all to know this is just now going on the books in Connecticut for the very first time ever in the history of the world. You can no longer marry your first cousin starting October the 1st.
Oh man, come on. You see, they always messing the party up, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy that y'all is even up there still trying to do that.
I didn't even know they was getting down like that in Connecticut. I thought that was a down south thing.
That's a white people thing, babe.
Yeah, a down south white people thing.
White people, period.
Uh.
Because they want to keep it pure. I'm white, you white. The what's some people over there in Broadland? What you call them? The first family? The
royal family?
They cousins.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's why everybody Joe look like that. But the queen
the
and
Griffin?
The daddy is cousins.
No, the American dad.
I don't know them people.
The American dad, y'all.
Yes. Also, scientists have achieved a groundbreaking milestone in the fight against HIV, where they've developed a therapy that removes the HIV DNA from the infected human cells, and it prevents the virus from ever returning.
Let's go and give a cheer for that. And I'm going to give a cheer for that because I know that was created to take out a certain group of people.
Mm-hmm. This revolutionary approach targets the viral genetic material directly, effectively erasing HIV from the cell's genome and halting its ability to replicate. Nice. Whatever they did for this, immediately start the testing on the cancer. Immediately.
I'm not opposed.
Now, granted, once they can cure y'all cancer, y'all gonna start getting stuff you never, ever, ever heard before. But if it's a way to be done, let's make it happen. This week's missing docket is going to be Miss Jada Horton. She's missing from Boston, Massachusetts. She's 15 years old. She described as having black hair, medium complexion. She's 5'5", eye color brown. She was last seen on August 7th, 2025. So if anybody in the Boston area has seen her, know where she is, know anything about her, please report it to the Willington Police Department. Y'all know, as always, I am going to post this. I'm going to tag it. But anybody that's in the Boston area, please keep an eye out for this baby. Make sure we can bring her home safely. In the midst of sorrow, you can see up and looking down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring. Oh, you hear the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, just hold on to your dreams, yeah. You hear that song? It is Black Light Spotlight. And this week is going to be a black-owned business. And this black-owned business is a Airbnb host out of Austin, Texas. And it's called Season of the Vitch. It's an entire rental unit. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. And it comes with, this is what it says about the space. Charming, good vibes, sultry, and quirky. Whatever your vibe, this apartment has it for you. Located just 17 minutes from downtown Austin, this apartment provides a cozy space to relax and unwind away from the city while inspiring you to play and escape the mundane for a little while. It's a simple space full of wonder and beauty. Let your spirit have fun with a sense of peace and magic. If you're in the Austin area and you are looking for a place to stay, his name is Tonio. Say, hey, Tammy sent me over from the Black Docket. I will post the link as always, like I always do. So if you're in Austin, you're thinking about going to Austin, you said, hey, I want to go somewhere, try it out.
Try it out, try it out, try it out.
This week's listener of the week is going to be of 3 Beats on Spotify. I can absolutely tell that they started from the beginning with listening to the episodes and just going through and commenting and leaving their things. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I see you. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for listening. And absolutely thank you for commenting. And anybody else, leave comments. That's how we can push the podcast out, make it easier for the algorithm to find us, for more people to join the docket. So whatever thought comes across y'all mind, I am not opposed to comment. Comment, like, share, comment, like, share. You got anything before we get up out of here, Delio?
Nope.
This has been another episode of the Black Docket. We are out.
I won.
Justice doesn't clock out, and neither do we. So if this episode got you fired up, that's the point. Now, don't just sit with it. Talk about it. Argue about it. Obsess over it. Hit me up on Instagram at The Black Docket, Facebook at The Black Docket Crime Chronicles, or drop me a line at theblackdocketcc@gmail.com. Got a lead? Got a case? A whisper you think I should drag out into the daylight? Slide in my way. And remember, whether you're binge listening, side-eyeing your own jury duty, or lurking in the comments, this docket belongs to you too. Until next week, stay curious, stay bold, and always remember, the truth doesn't whisper, it kicks the damn door in. This is the Black Docket, and we're signing out.
All rise. We are now on the Black Docket.